Hello everybody, welcome to the video. I hope you're having a fantastic day. The other day I asked you guys to ask me some questions in the Discord server that I could answer for another video. And here we are with another Ask Raeal video where you guys can ask me just about anything, whether you want to learn about me, whether you want my opinions on anything, whatever it might be. If you like these kind of videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. Make sure to also join our Discord server so you can ask your own questions in the Ask Raeal part of the server. Before I start rambling though, let's go ahead and get to your questions. First question comes from Asgar, who asks, "What are you doing?" Man, I'm just being me. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't never know what I'm doing. Next question comes from Fluff Galaxy, who asks, "How tall are you?" In real life, I think I'm like 5'5", 5'3". I don't quite remember. I've grown a little bit. Lieutenant asks, "How do you pronounce GIF?" Head DM asks, "I know you don't actually get drunk often, but I have to ask, what's your favorite drink? Do you prefer mixed drinks over unmixed?" So this is a decent question because I've been getting into mixed drinks a lot lately, specifically something I've made with a peach whiskey and rum chata called Peach Cobbler that my roommate told me about. But lately, if I'm just relaxing for the night and I don't really want to go about mixing a big drink or anything like that, I usually will mix whiskey with Dr. Pepper cream soda. It's an easy drink, it's relaxing, and I usually only have one if I'm feeling the need for it. Like, I still very rarely drink, but when I do, I like to relax. Killzone asks, "Would you take us down to the Paradise City where the grass is green and the girls are pretty? I want to go home." Our next question comes from Umbra, who asks, "Roxanne Wolf?" Yes. Anthony the Fox asks, "Have you ever been reading and just have a stroke midway through trying to read a certain word and just going, fuck this, way more often than you think?" So one of the things I do daily is go over business emails where I get contacted by a bunch of companies to play their games, and get potential sponsorship deals here for the channel and the Twitch streams. A lot of times, all those emails are business jargon. They're just way too professional and like way too like educated. I'm a dumb toaster. You need to be like square with me. You need to be like blunt and upfront, like, "Hey, I'm gonna pay you $200 if you play this game," and I'll go, "Okay." Well, enough of this business jargon. It makes me just skip over your email and completely ignore it. Protopuck asks, "What's better, Xbox or PlayStation?" PC. I'm a computer. Degree asks, "Generally, how did you meet Avesta?" So I'm assuming by this you're asking how I met Avesta the Protogen. So it turns out I met Avesta through her original creator and the modeler for the character Halissa Hyena. I ended up coming across some of Halissa's other work on, I think it was ArtStation, and I fell in love with the modeling work and ended up asking Halissa to do a model for me, which you can see here. So throughout the commission of the model, her and I kept talking with each other, keeping each other up to date on things. She was keeping me up to date on the commission, and we generally just kind of became friends. And it eventually led us to meeting in VR chat where I met her boyfriend, and we were able to just kind of vibe and kind of just be friends. And she integrated into my friend group, I integrated into hers. And for the most part, she's running around as Avesta the Protogen, and she's a wonderful person, wonderful friend. I urge you guys, if you want just somebody awesome to follow for some artwork and some 3D model stuff, definitely give Halissa a follow on Twitter. She does a ton of other work you have seen her in. She's responsible for making this VR chat shark avatar and responsible for a lot of models you see in certain animations. I won't name which ones, but Halissa is wonderful. Her and Dreamertooth work together to get some decent videos made. Of course, some shitposty ones as well, and they're all fantastic. But I think with Halissa, I commissioned her for this model of Raeal. We kept talking to each other, we became friends, and we just vibe together. We joke, we have fun, we laugh, and we're just kind of, that's kind of it. Pixel asks, "Have you played any Nintendo games?" I think the most recent Nintendo game I've played might have been actually like Breath of the Wild. It's not the last one I played, but it's the last one I really remember enjoying and the last one I actually completed. Breath of the Wild, I think, is my favorite Nintendo game of all time, followed closely by maybe Super Mario Sunshine, and of course Pokemon. But yes, I have played Nintendo games. I used to have a Switch, I had a GameCube growing up, and I had a Wii growing up as well. Ignis asks, What's your least favorite alcoholic drink, liquor, etc.? Peppermint schnapps, and I have a story for this. So when I turned about 18, I'm totally outing my dad here, but I turned 18, and in the state of Montana, it is okay for a minor to drink in a private residence as long as they are accompanied by adults. So I turned 18, I was still under 21, but my dad was like, okay, I want to have your first drink with you. I was the kind of kid that didn't go partying, I didn't go out there, I didn't drink my parents' liquor behind their backs. I was generally pretty well behaved. So on my 18th birthday, my dad gave me this drink of peppermint schnapps and orange juice. If you've ever tried to drink orange juice after brushing your teeth, you know exactly what it tastes like. So my first drink I had with my dad decided it would be funny to fuck with me, give me a drink of a shot of peppermint schnapps mixed with an entire glass of orange juice. And he said, don't think about it, just chug it. So I did. The taste was revolting. I think I vomited it back up and profusely. And I didn't touch alcohol again until I was about 20, maybe 21. But yeah, peppermint schnapps. Trike asks, how does it feel to be a marketable plushie? Well, thank you for the segue. I have to say it feels pretty good, but you know what feels even better? Having one of my own that I can have in the office. And now you can too. That's right, everybody. This little bean is still available for pre-order through bossmonster.com. Make sure to check the link out in the description below because they are selling, and this is going to be the only time we get them in for a while until we run out of these. Then it'll be a little bit before we can get them in again. So make sure you get your hands on them now. They will not last, and as soon as we have the shipment in, your bean will be shipped to you. Make sure to check out the other merch on Boss Monster's website while you're there, and to check out the Raeal category for pins, PVC patches, stickers, and Dakimakuras, and so much more coming soon. Joe asks, do you have any siblings? If so, how many, and are they older or younger than you? So I have one younger brother and two younger sisters. I'm the oldest, meaning I was the one that got all the punishment. Then when my younger sisters were growing up, when my younger brother was growing up, and I saw them getting away with things that I was never able to get away with, I got extremely jealous. I moved out of the house when I was 18 as soon as I could because there was I was always punished for doing things, but then my younger siblings would get away with the exact same things I was doing. So I felt a little jaded, but I am the oldest by 2 years, I think. I was their first attempt. I was their first mistake. Why is it always the mistake? Shadow asks, hey Raeal, what's a good setup for streaming? I thought I'd ask you since you're a really nice guy. If you're starting streaming, you don't need to put a lot of money into your setup. I got started on an HP Pavilion laptop with the laptop webcam and microphone and nothing else. I even paid for fraps at the time because I didn't realize OBS was a free-to-use program. On top of that, I used Windows Movie Maker to make all my edits when I was doing YouTube videos. This was all 7 years ago, so this is nothing to pertain to the Raeal channel, but if you're getting started on Twitch, if you want to get started with streaming or YouTube in general, you don't need to get a super expensive setup. It's not required. It is nice to have nice things. It is nice to gloat that you have these expensive things. But if you don't know how to use the expensive things, they're pretty much worthless in your setup. So I recommend starting small, starting cheap, learning your equipment over time, and the microphone I recommend for that is the Audio-Technica 2020. As for microphones, it's a good beginner microphone that's going to teach you all of the beginner stuff you need to know when handling an XLR microphone like this, and it's also going to be good enough for when you get into the intermediate or pro territory, so you can keep using it if you don't want to upgrade. As for an audio interface, because you need something to power this microphone, I recommend either the Scarlett 2i2 or the Scarlett Solo, or you go with a small 2-channel Behringer mixer. The reason I would choose a mixer over an audio interface is on the fly, right there, live physical EQ of your voice. Other than that, it's not really needed, it's overboard, you can get away with using just a Focusrite. With that out of the way, you don't need an expensive camera either. If you have a really nice microphone, there are apps that transform your phone into a usable webcam for your computer. It either will broadcast wirelessly or through a USB-C cable. Another option is to spend $70 on a Logitech C920 Pro. It's the exact same webcam I use for my VC face and my live streams when I'm showing my face. I've had that webcam since 2017. It has not quit on me yet, and honestly, the quality is really good for what it is. All in all, you can get a bare bones basic streaming setup put together for just under $300. And that's all you need if you're just starting out. And in the future, when you want to take it more seriously and you've learned your equipment a little bit better, go ahead and get the more expensive things if you feel like it is justifiable. Don't get expensive things just to get expensive things. It's money wasted at the end of the day. You don't need to use it if you don't know how to use it. Basically my stance on it. A lot of the equipment I still use in my own streams is as old as I've been doing YouTube stuff. So 7-8 years now. Because it hasn't quit on me, I know how to use it and I don't really need to upgrade right now. Arch asks, is a hot dog a sandwich? Yes, so is a taco, and ribs are a snack. Avesta the Protogen asks, what was it like when you became a furry streamer? I want to try to be a Protogen streamer, but I don't know where to start. Honestly, I'm not a fair person to ask for this. I'm not really a fair person to ask this question to because I was doing YouTube at the same time I was doing Twitch. I actually started YouTube before I started my Twitch channel. So a lot of my audience came from the YouTube channel, and there are a lot of the same people that are still in my streams today. What was it like when I became a streamer and started being able to sustain myself? I thought it was awesome. I don't really mind the furry hate I get. I don't really mind the people coming in just to troll because that's all they are, is just trolls. They don't know me in real life. So why am I paying any attention to their opinion? But as for actually becoming a furry streamer, I wouldn't even really count myself as that because a lot of my content is not based in the furry fandom. A lot of my content is playing Halo, playing Doom, playing shooter games or racing games or anything like that. I'm not talking about furry topics. I'm not talking about other people in the furry fandom because I don't like talking about that kind of stuff. I don't feel like I fit in with the larger crowd of people that are very well known in the fandom because I'm just not that way. I like to talk to the people I talk to. I know I'm going off on a tangent. There's a larger video I want to make about this, so stay tuned for 50,000 subscribers where I'll go over everything that has been on my mind since starting YouTube, the stressors I've had, the anxiety I've felt. 50,000 subscribers, that video is dropping as sort of a draw my life kind of thing. So make sure to subscribe now if you haven't yet. Bite asks, not much of a question, just want to know how you're doing lately. I'm doing acceptably. I'm not gonna lie, my motivation's been a little low lately. I haven't had a lot of energy. I haven't been getting sleep. But here I am. Yay. Have you ever thought most furry VTubers sound strangely similar? I've never come across that. I think what it is mostly is VTubing gives us a character to hide behind. Not necessarily hide, but it gives us a character to pretend to be. Granted, Raeal is an extension of me. Raeal is an extension of my personality, just characterized a little bit and kind of taken more to an extreme. So I think for a lot of people, that's what being a VTuber is we can be more of ourselves without showing ourselves or being nervous to show ourselves. We have a character we can put our voice to. We have a character we can put our jokes into. We have a character that we can just characterize as us. So I think that's where it comes down to, is a lot of us just feel the same way about using a VTubing avatar. North Joker asks, what do you believe existence means? Don't forget your towel. Chicken asks, how do protogens recharge? If you've followed this channel for any length of time, you know exactly what's about to happen. Photosynthesis. Pulsar asks, what do you think of pineapple on pizza? If it's Hawaiian pizza, I'll eat it. I won't pick it off. I do enjoy it on Hawaiian pizza. On literally anything else, no, I don't like pineapple on pizza. Will I hate you for loving pineapple on pizza? No, because you have your own tastes. You're fine. Do you, boo? I don't care. I'm over here eating my pepperoni pizza. You have your fucking pineapple pizza, whatever you want. It's fine. Swissconsin asks, would you rather have a nice car, plane, or boat? What are your favorites of each? I don't know enough about planes to know what I would want out of a plane. I don't know enough about boats to know what I would want out of a boat. But as for cars, I want a Nissan GTR, either the Nismo edition or maybe the old school black edition, the Nissan GTR Black. I would probably never have a plane. I would never have a boat because it's a lot of maintenance, it's a lot of money, it's a lot of time investment. I spend enough time on here doing these videos as is. It's Pix asks, what colors can you not see? And have you considered getting those glasses that help colorblind people see color? So I have a form of colorblindness known as protonomaly or protanopia. I wish I was making that word up. I am not. It is a weakness to red and green. It's when my reds and greens mix together, and it even even affects my purples and blues where I can't tell either apart even if they were separate. To give you a little example, I'll put a diagram up on the screen of what the different forms of colorblindness look like, and here is what I see with protanopia on normal colors. This is why Raeal looks the way he does. This is why I designed him the way I did, because to me, these are very neutral colors that I can see. I did look into the Enchroma glasses because I did want to originally try to correct my colorblindness, but they are expensive. They're about $500 for the pair I would need. And to get them in prescription, they cost close to $1,000. So unfortunately, I won't be getting those Enchroma glasses anytime soon because I just can't afford it. I can't justify it. I've lived my whole life with colorblindness. I will go a little bit longer with it. Kenta asks, all Protogen should have computerized voices when they speak. That being said, has Raeal considered making his voice as such when he's a Protogen? Protogens don't have to have synthesized voices. I hate to break it to you, but there is a real face and mouth underneath this, so there is a possibility that Protogens also have their own vocal cords. The screen is just nanites. It can let sound pass through just fine. You could have a synthesized voice if you wanted, that's up to you. But not all Protogens should have a synthesized voice. I don't agree with that. At one point, Raeal did have a synthesized voice back when I first started the channel. If you see a few of those first videos, I did synthesize Raeal's voice, but that was mainly because I didn't want anybody to find out who I was through my voice. Tara asks, sweet or savory? Savory. Butter asks, what do you do when you wake up at a horrible time? Do you just go back to sleep, or do you get up all disoriented and do stuff? As someone who's been waking up at anywhere between 11:30 to 2 o'clock lately, I get up and try to get things done, because if I don't, I will just stay in bed the rest of the day, and it's not productive, it doesn't get anything done. I end up hating myself even more for it, so I force myself to get up. Pat asks, if you were invited to a podcast, would you accept it? That entirely depends on who's running the podcast. If Joe Rogan's running the podcast, no. Fuck no. Absolutely fucking not. But if somebody I actually respected is running a podcast, yes, I would. Bora asks, want a box? Thank you. Silent asks, so Raeal, do you ever plan on getting a full fursuit of your Sona? At one point, I wanted one. Yes, at one point I thought, hey, I would love to have one of these. But nowadays, I'm more along the lines of, I don't think I want to get a full suit for Raeal. I think for me, I want to stick with maybe just poodling. Getting the head done for me. I've already got the tail for it. Maybe getting the legs done and maybe the arms. But one, I'm not smart enough to do any of that, so I would need somebody else to do it for me. Two, I'm broke. In all honesty, I can't afford to get a fursuit done made, man. BioDragon says, Raeal, gift for you. Purple. I love purple. Take asks, is Raeal your real name or your Protogen's name? I don't think Raeal's can be a real name. BRB changing my fucking real life name to Raeal. Intex asks, hey Raeal, I'm just starting out on Twitch. Do you have any recommendations on what I should do? Be you, have fun, talk into the void, talk as if you were talking to a bunch of people at once. Always be talking, no filter, brain goes smooth, and you just react. Angel asks, socks then pants or pants then socks? I don't have any pants. Shield asks, you ever recorded something only to find the recording software only picked up a black screen or a mirror the entire time? Oh no, hold on, I need to check and make sure this recording is still going. Way to make my panic go. Okay, OBS is recording. Yes, I have done that before. I have lost way more potential footage than I care to admit because I forgot to hit a fucking record button or I forgot to set a window correctly. So yes, I know your pain. D3 asks, Raeal, what made you decide to raid my stream? This is something, for some reason, a lot of people have trouble understanding from me. If you are active in my community, if you support me, if you come to watch my streams and these videos and you comment in my Discord server, I try to repay that. You guys that all post in the Now Live channel, if you've got permission in my Discord server to do that, I look at that Now Live channel and every now and then I try to pick out somebody to raid from that channel. Because you guys are putting the time and the effort to interact with me and my community, I want to give a little bit back. And you have no idea how happy it makes me to see somebody just their day just lightens up because I was able to send some love to them, or I was able to make their day or help them smile. Even just something as simple as a raid. Zeronian asks, Raeal, how dumb am I for forgetting to click the checkmark button? Not dumb, just make sure to go right down there, click that little gear icon, and make sure notifications are on for these videos, and you'll be good to go, man. Protogen asks, do Protogens have Task Manager for their issues, or are you using something else? I prefer something else. Aniki asks, Raeal, how do you feel about Primogen since they made the subspecies known as Protogens? Primogens did not make the Protogens. Primogenitors made the Protogens, and when the Protogen project failed, they made the Primogens. The Protogens came before the Primogens, and they were both created by the Primogenitors. I see this as a commonly, misinterpreted thing or something that a lot of people are still misunderstanding. So I do want to revisit the Protogen lore video and kind of do a FAQ on Protogens and Primogens. So if you have a question about Protogens, Primogens, and the Primogenitors, leave them down in the comments below. I will try to answer them maybe in another video. SinsVR asks, would you ever do a VR chat community meetup one day? No. The only reason I say that is because there are so many people here now that if I open it up for everybody, I can't trust that everybody would be safe in that instance of VR chat. I can't trust that the meetup would go smoothly with over 5,000 people trying to join a room. And frankly, I don't trust that there wouldn't be some trolls trying to share NSFW avatars or do less than savory things just to try to get me in trouble. So unfortunately, I'm saying no to community events, but if you become a patron, we do hold patron events once every other week. I hate that that has to be how it is, but it just makes better sense in my head, because the last thing I want is somebody in my own community getting hurt because somebody else did something that's completely out of my control. And unfortunately, in a big community meetup, that just wouldn't be possible to look out for all the time. Butter asks, can Raeal take baths to wash themselves, or do they need to have manually scrub their robotic parts and then groom their floof? It's complicated. Spy asks, why are you drunk in almost every video? Because that's the videos that get views. I don't know how else to spell it out to people. I'm not drunk 24/7. What you see is one weekend out of the month where I'm actually drinking, and it's enough content to last throughout the entire month. I'm just trying to be honest. Alexan asks, if Raeal was real, what would be the first thing you and him do? Probably cuddle? Anyway, that's all we have for today, everybody. Thank you so much for asking your questions. Again, if you want to ask your own questions, make sure to join our Discord. Link is in the description below. Make sure to ask your questions for the next video. I'm going to try to do these once a month from now on. I know I've missed a couple months. The last Q&A I uploaded was in January, but I really like doing these videos because it gives you guys a chance to learn me. It gives me a chance to answer your questions that you might have, and it helps me get kind of more personal with you guys. So thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I am Raeal the Protogen, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye-bye! Wagga, 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 wagga. Oh my god, the fizz bones broke my ears.